The lamp went dark for 9 seconds. That was all. 9 seconds on a winter island where no living man had stood in 3 weeks. And out on the black water, something that had been waiting 100 years felt the light go out. And it began at last to move toward the rock.
You came back. They always come back. Come closer to the lantern, the water is loud tonight. I keep a light too, you know. Not to guide the living home. To mark the toll. Every crossing has a price, and every price has a keeper who pays it without ever being told the bill. The toll tonight is one winter, on a bare rock at the edge of the sea, where a man learns what his little lamp is truly for. Mind the dark. It is counting.
Aldous took the winter posting because no one else would. 3 keepers had left the lighthouse at Sorn Moor the year before. Left, the company said. Not died. Left. The relief boat dropped him at noon, and the captain would not stay for tea. Light it by 6, the man said, every night, no matter what you see on the water. Then he was gone, a small boat shrinking into a gray and endless sea. The keeper's cottage was cold and clean. On the table lay the logbook, its leather worn soft by other hands. Aldous read it by candle that first night. Weather. Wind. The hour the lamp was lit. Ordinary page after page, until a single line near the end, in a cramped and careful hand. There is a light on the water that answers mine. At dusk he climbed the tower and lit the lamp the way he had been shown, the great lens throwing its beam far out across the dark. He watched it sweep the water. And far out where there was nothing, no harbor, no island, no shipping lane, a single light blinked back at him. Once. Twice. The same slow rhythm as his own. A ship, he told himself. He did not believe it. By the 3rd night, the answering light was nearer. By the 5th, it sat just beyond the rocks, and Aldous could see that it did not move the way a ship moves. It did not ride the swell. It rose and it sank slow like something breathing, with no hull beneath it and no mast above. He went back to the log. The last pages were worse than the first. The keeper before him had scratched out the printed words at the top of every page, warned passing ships, scratched them out again and again until the paper tore, and written underneath. There are no ships. There have never been any ships. And then in that same cramped hand, I stopped lighting the lamp last night to see. It came to the rocks. I lit it again and it drew back and it waited. The light does not keep us safe. The light keeps it patient. The lamp is a leash and we are not the ones holding it. Aldous lit the lamp every night after that, his hands a little less steady each time. On the 9th night, the wind took the flame and the lamp went dark. 9 seconds while he fumbled the match in the cold. 9 seconds in which the breathing light beyond the rocks went perfectly still and then began to come. He got the flame back. The thing drew off slow into the deep. But his candle, swinging in his hand, threw light up into the housing of the lamp itself, the great iron collar around the lens. And there, scratched into the metal by hand after hand after hand, he saw the tally. Names. Dates. One name to a winter, going back 100 years and more. A child's careful letters. A shaking, frightened scrawl. Name after name after name, each with a single winter beside it, and not one of them, he understood, had ever been carried into the spring. The lamp had never been built to warn the living. There were no ships. The lamp was a toll marker, and the thing in the water was owed one keeper every winter, and the light told it the same thing every single night. The toll is here. The toll is paid. The toll is waiting on the rock. The blinking light that answered his own was not a second lamp at all. It was the thing, opening and closing the cold, wet dark it had instead of an eye, counting the nights down to the one it was owed. Aldous understood then why the relief boat would not stay. Why the captain had said spring as though it were a place that other men went, and not him. He lifted the candle to the iron collar, to the last name scratched there, fresh, the cuts in the metal still bright. He had not written it. He read it anyway. It was his own. The lamp guttered. Out on the black water, the light opened and held and did not blink again. The counting was done. And Aldous, because there was nothing else a keeper could ever do, struck a match with a steady hand at last and lit the lamp, and sat down to wait for the boat that he knew now would never carry him home.
He lit it. Of course he lit it. A keeper always does. That is the cruelty of a toll, my friend. You pay it most willingly at the very moment you finally understand that it is yours. I have ferried a great many souls across a great many waters. And I will tell you a secret. The ones who fight the crossing are not the ones I remember. It is the ones who strike the match themselves. So tell me down there in the dark where you sit reading this. If the lamp were yours and the water were counting, would you let it go out and run, knowing the next man pays your price? Or would you light it and stay and be this winter's toll? Leave me your answer below. I do read them. Tomorrow the lantern swings inland to a house where the family photographs have begun to turn and face the wall, all on their own. Until then, mind the dark. Penny next shore.